Greetings and welcome to my dear Capricorn. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel known as Tarot of the Twin Sun. My name is Ron. I am working within the Order of the Twin Sun, and this is a functional division of that order. Please take only what you will. Remember, this is for guidance. It shall not resonate for everyone, but for those who it does, please take it with credence that this is for the better aspects of light and guidance within your spiritual path. Okay? Yes, so the 10th house is open, and the externalized world, the materiality of such, the aspects of devotion that are tied to the realism of certain realities that may be coming to be through the 10th house is here. The energy of Saturn is here. Okay? And it has been for all of 2020, to be honest. Today we'll be doing a singularity reading. And the singularity is essentially a place of time and space with no time, no space. It's the timeless, spaceless sort of reading, and it's an idea of a nexus, a certain a moment of simultaneity that arises out of the ether, and this could essentially help you to understand one of the more specific points of your mid-December journey. Yeah, so please relax and thank you. I'm pulling from the Cartomanzia Italiana deck. Beautiful deck from the 1980s, 83 I believe. Okay. Okay, there's a secret order here. Wow, you have loads of major arcana going on. Let's see the challenges. Yeah, even more major arcana. Is this deck made of all major arcana? The main action here is the processing of ideas. These ideas being related to options. Options and false starts, secrets being revealed on your path towards wisdom. Okay? It has to do also with ego death, ways of thinking that have been outdated, that have led to some sort of so-called heartbreak. This you're starting to realize that the heartbreak might have been synthesized in some sort of way, whatever that may have to do with, maybe aspects of betrayal within relationships, you coming into contact with different truths, or people who were trying to balance out certain things, people who were very much not helpful in you discerning your own truth, and then you trying to find a truth, but then that not being the truth. This also has to do with the sword and some sort of re-emergence of something from the past, a memory, a shadow that you have casted out of your garden. And essentially there's a feeling here of remembering but not really regretting. Seeing it for what it was, almost feeling numb to the cycle, becoming a master of this and finding rest as you become a master of this. Mastery of the thoughts, mastery of something that you have cast out in the past. So for some reason there is a gleaning, some sort of mystery about its resurrection or its rejection from resurrection from the grave. And this seems to be an echo that as you approach towards the future, there is a challenge here of this feeling that, things are irrevocably changed in some sort of way. And that isn't hard for you. I think you can deal with that. You've been through enough already. Capricorn, I keep saying this to you. Um, there is something about the fundamental essence of the cycle, okay? The cycle of death, regeneration, the cycle of life, that whole great circle of positive and negative polarities, raising up and being brought down, and vice versa. Something like that has to do with the challenge into the future. And your past has to do more with the ability to see and discern through the darkness that which is light by emitting your own vibration, by emitting your own frequency to see what harmonizes in a certain way. There's a devotion to the truth, devotion to very intensified truths surrounding in you in terms of challenges. Also, it's one of great isolation as well as death and regeneration. Something here that has to do with the understanding and the pulling out and the resurrection of some very, very great cosmic things. You are on a spiritual path here. And as you are, there are two things that fundamentally surround you in terms of what crowns you. It's the energy of Il Bagato, which is the magician, the energy of Gemini as well, the ability to bring in that which communicates with the heavens and brings it back down to the earth. That which is temporal but then is charged with electricity. Okay, there is something about the mode in which you are understanding how you are redefining ways of finding your own sort of spiritual compass, your own inner reservoir, your own ability to harness deep emotions and idealize these in a certain way to help you propel your thoughts into the future, okay? Deep down inside or consciously, what is being informed by this is essentially that the energy of justice. So deep down inside, you're on the quest for truth as well as communication and balancing out, especially anything from the past, cutting severs with that, which has been from the past. There's something about you that has been very emotionally detached for some time, but that's going to change very, very quickly as the energy of Gemini. It's propelling you into some very interesting, bright new futures that have to do with what's on your mind. Be careful with what's on your mind that will project into your realities, okay? Especially when it comes to communities or your desires, okay? These will come into being. And there's something about the energy of love here and separation, as well as the Hierophant's energy here strong as well. Devotional aspects, or perhaps the mystery of devotion here that is quite strong. There's a lot of self-love here. There's also a choice and or perhaps a promise broken to a previous version of yourself that was dealing with someone that might have been detached, or potentially there is a revolution, okay? Something with the energy of Uranus as well as the energy of Aquarius here, and the 10th house Saturn coming into power and trying to understand social mobility, rising up or going below the status quo, understanding your place in that. It's been very chaotic, and you're becoming a mastery through this chaos. As this occurs, there's also the Empress's energy, which is all about expansion, growth, a growth of chaos, a growth of shifts occurring here, as well as the potter's wheel spins. A lot of materiality is lost in a way. So there's a combination of the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune, some sort of loss of something, but also a propensity for the increase of loss, but also the increase of wealth in some sort of way. It's as if losing more is getting you more purified or strained in some sort of way, refining your skills and coming into the energy of the sun. With Gliamante in reverse, there's someone that you've had to let go, okay? And this is actually helping you to understand the devotional aspects of that which is within you and that which is always going to be with you. A devotion to self, okay? And a devotion to pleasure of the self. And a devotion of promises to your own self, okay? Because of such, you see and you have seen and you've learned through the experience of options and the delusion of Neptune, the various aspects of Venus and Neptune that are very delusional. You've been able to detach from that romantic ideology, and there's a sense of rising into power, becoming a mastery of something that of your choosing. There also is a death and regeneration cycle here with the death card, La Morte here, that is essentially dealing with, well, more of the mastery of really coming into an understanding, being a student of that which needs to fall out in order to regenerate something new, to come into newness, to become into some sort of rebirth. Okay, so there's a lot of rebirth energy here. It's been wanting to happen as well, but then there's something about you that is not letting. It's essentially you've become a master of your mind. Okay, a master mind, if you will. And there are secrets here that revolve around things that have been wanting to resurface. And these could be shadows that you have casted out deliberately and intentionally in a certain way. So this looks like a very positive reading. Lots of isolation. However, in this isolation, you embrace the energy of the Empress and the Magician in order to rise into some sort of magical Venusian way that's tied with Mercury. Some very fast energy with love and love cycles, okay? Which is good. La Papesa is also here, the High Priestess in reverse, secrets being revealed, as well as the Emperor. Okay, we have here a divine pair, the Emperor and the Empress, being informed by the Sun, as well also some sort of power dynamic in which the Emperor loses his crown through the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. Uranus abdicates that or takes away that power in order to prove the Empress right, to make her sort of rise into some sort of glory. Very, very interesting considering with the High Priestess here, there's a doubling from the 2 to the 4, some sort of community or some sort of community that is based on cooperative efforts has been let go here, and there's a mystery, some sort of very deep, intense magical inclination here that has to do with the lessening of structures that have been very rigid or very, very heavy in terms of Capricornian or the energy of Saturnine energy here. Creating a balance, really, between the mysteries of the divine feminine and the fall of the divine masculine, if you will. And these are loosely sort of projected onto the reading. The one thing that calls to mind, in my mind at least, is the Saturnian age and the fall of Cronus, as well as the rise of Jupiter, and then the golden age that follows. There's something in the silver lining here that has to do with secrets and secret knowledge that helps you weigh out one beginning to the next. So this reading speaks about a major shift in the very nature of love, especially self-love, and it being more challenged in a certain way, and you balancing out certain energies that are of either the masculine or the feminine, and coming into some sort of harmony, into a new sunrise here. It looks like a very, very good thing. The thing is that there's a great deal of pessimism when it comes to this. This change involves the path of La Ermetia as well as La Morte, which is death, and also the very isolation of spiritual angst, a lot of dark nights surrounding the reading, and these can be challenges. But there's a lot of major arcana, and this is probably the best reading I've had for Capricorn in some time. The idea is to find stability in your logic, stability in ways of thinking and discerning. And really, you're learning from some of the more incredible things that have to do with false starts and not being able to start up, but then you realizing that these have been processed already, and because there's been a lot of desolation and darkness around you, this is actually helping you to rise into some sort of mastery. So keep working on your craft, keep working on that great elusive pentacle that you may be searching for, and you can be coming into a great understanding of some of the different parts of yourself, the left and the right brain, for example, or the physical and the metaphysical, and you trying to weigh out different aspects, okay? It's as if there's something very lighthearted about this reading, though there is a heaviness that surrounds you in terms of bridges, where it could lead to in the future or where it comes from in the past. You should find a great deal of joy in all of this, considering you are making a choice that has to do with love for another, or love of the self through the other, or of the other through the self. And that is a very beautiful way to harmonize and to come into a sense of inclusivity. Okay, I see here the path of Aquarius, but the star has not shown up for you. There is a star of the sun, which is the star itself, um, but the energy of Gemini is more here. So you should say what you mean, because your thoughts are very sharp and they're very witted. And there's something very intelligent about what you're doing, or what you're saying, or what you're self-mastering now, okay? Um, Pay attention to the subconscious. There's messages coming for you. They will be deeply rooted to some of the more darker and mysterious left-sided things of nature that have to do with fundamental questions that are cosmic. But your ability to see through the veil will be um, gifted to you through more subconscious realms, that being the meditative states that you reach, or through the alpha gammatic waves, um, or beta waves that you might reach in sleep states, okay? And there you might find some very deep intensities that you can weigh against each other and understand how to find balance within different polarities, okay? And that's the essence of your reading. There's a great deal of information that you can juggle with right now to help you find mastery, and also to understand why the policies and the politics and the games of love have been holding you back in some sort of way. There is also a possibility that you will find in your stillness a great sense of joy, as well as an ability to really turn that hand that reaches out inward, and to pull out of yourself something very profound indeed, an inner light, or perhaps the resurgence of things past that you have to be aware of in order to understand the motivations of the maturity of the mind. Okay? That is your reading, and I do wish you well, my dear Capricorn. Thank you. Bye.